The penalty kill has been lethal, an 87.3% clip. But you know what? Your best penalty killer is your goalie, and Pyotr Kochetkov has been elite. The Russian netminder, 6-1-2 in his last 9 starts. He's second in the league with a 1.86 goals against in that stretch. One of the words we've heard all postseason is collective, and it sounds so cliche, but we really have seen that this is a team effort, getting production throughout this entire lineup. The depth scoring has been huge. You can just look at Jordan Martinook, who had 10 points alone in the second round. Shane, how big is that heading into this round? You can't knock the way the Canes came out and played. They did exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to get more pucks on net, create more chances, of course, trying to make Sergei Bobrovsky a little uncomfortable. Just play our game the Hurricane way. Well, I think it was clear from almost puck drop that the details that make up that identity were missing here. Even Rod Brind'Amour said, "We were no good. I don't know what else to say. I have never seen us play like that." Unlike a normal game day, neither team skated this morning for morning skate. They didn't hit the ice yesterday because recovery was huge for these guys, and it was different for everyone, all the way from 38-year-old Brent Burns all the way down to 21-year-old Seth Jarvis. He said this morning he's using his youth as an advantage. He's feeling good, but boy, Chris, Thursday night, he looked good. Yeah, Pat, and Russian netminder Pyotr Kochetkov is doing it all, not speaking any English. Good thing Ostanavita Shaibu is universal. Well, sort of. Yep, that's me. I don't know. It feels like your game is getting better. Last year was career highs. What do you do for an encore?
Just try and be better than I was last year. I feel like every year you play, you want to be better than you were the year before.
I'm all laced up. I'm ready to hit the ice for the very first time. This is also, by the way, before the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's go. Let's take a look at how this rink is. 50,000 plus fans here at Carter Finley Stadium. That's something, you're just trying to picture here, as it'll be full come Saturday night. What is that lesson maybe you hope people could take away from your story, your journey?
That's the most important question, Kacy. If you think you might have the disease, starting to think about, oh my gosh, how am I going to go, even if I'm successful being sober, how am I going to go the rest of my life without the ability to drink?
It is the playoffs, so in honor of that, why don't Mick, you help me out just a little bit here. There we go. It's the way of the playoffs. And you've got to have a short memory and move on. That was the message this morning from head coach Rod Brind'Amour. Chris, I think this series might have surprised some people just how close these two teams were in the regular season, but every game here has been so lopsided. So I asked a few guys about that this morning, and they said, look, we're playing such similar styles in game that there's a vast difference when one doesn't get to it. So tonight, it's all about who does get to their game quicker, faster, and better. One of the great traditions in hockey, no Bucky, solo warm-up lap. Carolina Hurricanes 2020 second-round pick Vasily Ponomarev getting his lap tonight for his NHL debut because the Canes were short-handed on their trip to Washington. Jesper Foss, Martin Necas, and Stefan Dason all out of the lineup. Let's get you up to D.C. Pyotr Kochetkov, a big reason this team on a 4-game win streak. The Canes trailed 2-0 in this one. Let's pick it up in third. Canes within 1. Working it below the goal line, and Ponomarev slides it up to Seth Jarvis, who slips it in for his 14th goal of the season. That ties the game at 2 midway through the period. Canes on the power play here. The execution, elite. Sebastian Aho cross-iced Andrei Svechnikov, who wires the one-timer. A goal and 2 assists. That's a 6th straight multi-point game for Svech, and Canes up 3-2. Just moments later, Carolina back on the man advantage, and this time it's Burns, a ripper from the point. 2 goals and assists from Burnsy. He was cooking with oil, gas, and gravy. That one was for you, Ashley. But the cherry on top, less than a minute to play. Jesperi Kotkaniemi, the 2-on-1 with the Ponomarev, who wires the one-timer. Welcome to the league. He seals a 6-2 win. Coach, how about that kid tonight? 42 Toronto, 75 Islanders, 2010 Flyers, most recently the 2014 LA Kings, who did, by the way, go on to win the Stanley Cup, Deborah. So, we're not giving up complete hope here. But
no. Said that on recall. Impressive.
Absolutely. And, but Rod Brind'Amour said yesterday that we're not going to come out here and win all 4 games tonight. We just got to go out there and try to win 1. And this morning in the dressing room, there is true belief that they can do that. We've talked so much about the frustration of losing games, but feeling like they're not getting beat. It was clear that the Devils made adjustments from games 1 and 2 in Raleigh to game 3 in Sunday, and it worked to get up by speed and really stretch that Hurricane zone. What also builds confidence is goaltending. Pyotr Kochetkov standing tall for the 4th straight outing in this one. I asked Rod, what does that do for the confidence for the guys playing in front of him? He said it completely changes the complexion of the game. He said it's not a pleasant surprise, but it's much needed. Pat? The Canes made it official today, re-signing their captain to an $11.6 million extension. General Manager Don Waddell said Stahl embodies what it means to be a Hurricane, and they couldn't be more excited to sign him. But boy, none more excited than Stahl himself. Chris, former Hurricanes captain Justin Williams tweeted out, "One at a time." And boy, there is no one that knows this situation better than him. He was a part of one of only 4 teams to ever come back from an 0-3 deficit. He was on that 2014 LA Kings team that went on to win the Stanley Cup. But the mindset inside that Hurricanes dressing room, Pat, is that they could do the same. Playoff hockey atmosphere just hits different. The guys I spoke to this weekend all said they love just how big the Caniacs come out for this. Now, playoff hockey also hits different on the ice. You can forget about that 3-game series in the regular season where the Canes took that, because a 7-game series takes on a whole life of its own. Well, Chris, it's less of a if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because let's be honest, it's the playoffs. There's always room for improvement, but it's more of a take what worked on Monday and build off of it. The Canes finally broke through on the power play, scoring their only 2 goals on the man advantage, and of course that penalty kill was as good as it's been all season.